A rare day of it not raining. Could this be the beginning of spring after 60 days of pretty much non-stop rain? I think in those 60 days there are only about 5 days when it hasn't rained, but today is glorious. It's about 17 degrees, no wind, fluffy white clouds, and I'm out on my transition scout today for a change. I've been mainly riding cross-country stuff, so this is a new thing for me at the moment, getting back into this bike. So for the last probably 6 months a portion of the red trail has been closed and they've been reworking it because it was worn out, and it's open again now, and it looks like there's some pretty big features on it. So today's mission is to ride them. Just on the run down to the new bit of trail at the moment. Ooh. Everything's starting to dry out really quite nicely. It's amazing, it doesn't take much. Ooh. Today is Tuesday, it rained Sunday, the sun came out Monday, and it's been sunny all day today, so it only takes a couple of days of not raining to be okay. Trying to avoid what mud there is left. Right, there's some pretty big features on this new red trail, and it's the mid-descent of the red that they've been working on, and there's some features on it that you'd be familiar with if you'd been to Dovey or Bike Park Wales in size and scale. So this is the start of the new bit here. I'm going to take a run through at a sensible pace. Oh, that drop's not very nice. There's all sorts of nice little transitions and hops in here, like that. Obviously I'm not showing them to the best of the trail builder's ability, but you get the idea. Right, and around this corner, there's the big stuff. Oh, yeah, made a mess of that. Oh, these require a bit of commitment. Yeah, I've not ridden anything that big for a very long time. It's going to take a while for me to get my head back into gear. There's a couple of alternative lines here. Oh, there's a hip there which I completely missed. So as a first run down, I'm quite happy with that. Oh, nearly fell off there after all that. Let's go back and look at the other line that's there. Oh, this is steeper than expected. So there is another little line that starts from here. Goes down there and hits that first drop. So we'll give that a go. Let's roll into this little drop. It's not as big as the first one. It is quite alarming because the ground drops away from you there. So as an idea of scale, if you can hear me over the helicopter, the drop is about the size of a medium transition Scout. The only problem with it is it's directly to pretty much flat, which makes it quite jarring. It would be better if it was a gap jump or something like that. People are going to hurt themselves on this, I'd imagine, when they can't hold on to the handlebars. And there's a rough idea of scale. Here's my bike against one of the tabletops. They're not particularly big. Well, they are quite big for here, but I don't trust them like I trust a tabletop like this at Bike Park Wales or Dovey. Even after one slow run over, I didn't feel that like I could go back up and just hit them flat out. I need to mull this over in my head. Right, I'm going to cruise back to the top and ride some off-piste type stuff and let that sink into my head. I tend to have to do that and visualise it. As I've got older and wiser, I've learnt to do that. I have hit stuff like that before quite happily and cleared it, so I just need to let that sink in. If any of that made any sense. Oh, clip it in, right, there we go. Right. I'm going to do a trail called Mind the Stump. There it is, the stump to mind. It's always greasy and covered in moss. Gets your spidey senses tingling, or at least it does mine anyway. Ooh. Oh, too far back with my weight then, nearly had to topple off. Ooh. It's that kind of mud that just fills your tyre tread up, so you have a round, smooth chocolate donut of a wheel. but better than runny brown liquid mud. At least it's drying. Probably the last time I rode this bike on anything technical was 3 months ago, so I need to get back in the nap. This is going to be nice and slippery and fun. Yeah, it's going to be entertaining getting down this. Yeah, all off camber. Oh, no, not clipped in. Oh. Right, that was a disaster. Try and miss a muddy bit there. Right, let's get back to it. Yeah, it's just a muddy avalanche. Right. Wow. So I had practice of riding stuff like this. Woohoo. It's all off camber. Whoa. Right, this is going to be sketchy. Ooh. Yep. Zero control. Yeah. That's just a muddy rut of snot. Part man, part tripod down there. That was awful. Oh. And we're going to have a really muddy climb back to the top. That's how not to ride a bike. Right. A morale boosting run down my favourite trail. Now it's super slick. Probably the tyre that's going to work today is a mud spike. Now I'm not clipped in for that. What a disaster. And the rail is helping out. I'm talking gibberish. Get on pheasant out of the way. Yeah, this has got mud spike written all over it. Wow! It's been so wet this winter that these trails will never be the same again. Whoa! Well, right, this bit's going to be horrifically muddy. Whoa! Right. Wow. There's no good way to deal with that. Right, let's go and get into a gear that's going to get me through this mud. I knew this would be bad down here, but I've not ridden that for a long time. You could say I didn't ride it that time. Just gaining forward momentum here is a challenge. The sun has just set, so I'm going to have another run down the red that I rode earlier. Might go a little bit fast this time, see how I feel about that. Oh, that's horrible. Sand slaps the old fork down. I think I'm going to even try and clear those tabletops. I just want to get used to the feel of how much kick they've got on them. Oh! Yeah, the first one feels like you can over jump it. Yeah, that wasn't very good. Oh, there was a passenger on the bike then. Nice little hit. Obviously I made it look a lot worse than it is. Well, that was so hard not to say it was my last run. And there is a thing in snowboarding where you never have a last run. It's a bit of a cursed word, but that was my last run. Although I've got my lights, I think I'm going to head off home before it gets dark, because I've got about a 10-mile ride back home. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon, hopefully with some better riding from me. Bye.